Now you're listening to wrestling news that matters from people you want to hear it from, deep from within the confines of the internet. Covering WWE like no one else and covering TNA because no one else will. You are listening to the best in the world, Ring Rust Radio!
Brad Maddox.
Really scary.
I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Let's go, ladies. Don't go.
I am the best in the world at what I do. RBG.
Yes! 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 It's showtime, folks!
Hell in a Cell preview, y'all. Undertaker versus Brock. The long Raw review will make this Hell in a Cell preview and predictions go much quicker. Mike Chiari, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Who you got? And D'Lo Brown, how does it shake out?
I've got Brock Lesnar. I think that he should have been the one to win at SummerSlam and then just ended the feud there, but they decided to go with the whole 3-match series, even though they faced each other a lot more than 3 times, but that's neither here nor there. So they're going with the rubber match here, and I think Brock Lesnar's got to be the guy that comes out on top because obviously the Undertaker is a huge attraction, especially at WrestleMania, but he's a guy that's accomplished so much in WWE. He's a guy that no matter how many matches he wins or loses, he's always going to be hugely important. So, and then you have a guy like Brock Lesnar who is viewed as like a legitimate dominant force who would be able to kick people's asses in real life. So I think that it really wouldn't make sense to have him end the streak and then lose consecutive matches to The Undertaker. So I think you got to keep Brock Lesnar looking as strong as you possibly can heading into WrestleMania season. I think he wins this match, and I think it just happens cleanly as well, as cleanly as something can happen within Hell in a Cell. I don't think there's going to be interference. I don't see Kane getting involved because he's got a match earlier in the night. I don't think Sting's going to be in there. I just think Brock Lesnar in a hard-fought, entertaining match beats The Undertaker. And then I think you kind of have the question about The Undertaker, like, what's next for him? He just lost the match. Kind of in the same way you have those questions about Sting after he lost to Seth Rollins. And I think maybe that dynamic is what could ultimately lead to an Undertaker versus Sting match at WrestleMania, hopefully. So I think it's just going to be a straight-up battle, and Brock Lesnar comes out on top.
BG?
I look at this match, and I feel like both guys kind of need to win. And it's tough to really pinpoint who will. So I go with history. And Undertaker has only beaten Brock once, to my knowledge, in a one-on-one setting, and he had to basically cheat at SummerSlam to do it. So I'm going to go with Brock. But I could definitely see them trying to set up maybe who Brock will face at the Rumble or maybe even WrestleMania in this match.
Okay, so I'm pretty torn on this myself. I think that Brock Lesnar needs this win much more than The Undertaker. Because you're trying to build this guy for the next couple years as, he's your cornerstone. You're talking about John Cena and Brock Lesnar. As much as Brock Lesnar proved he doesn't really like wrestling all that much, it's just a job to him.
Looks funny.
He is money, and he is a bona fide draw, and the WWE knows what they have with this guy. So I think that it would be smart to give him the win here, just a decisive win. He doesn't have to kill Undertaker. It could be a really even match. You have a good back-and-forth finish, and Brock Lesnar just wins clean. Well, can't you just give me that? That's what I want. I think they're smart enough to give me that. But I'm going to have to say there is a possibility that both Demon Kane and Sting get involved here. Like I said, Undertaker kicks Brock Lesnar in the dick, starts just low-blowing him, hitting him while he's down, just absolutely attacking him.
Use it as a punching bag.
Really, Kane...
Oh, a speed bag.
Right? But it's awful, right? But Brock Lesnar eventually gets the upper hand, starts attacking Undertaker. I mean, just like the force of nature, tossing him around. Eventually, Kane comes down, rips the door off Hell in a Cell like it's 1997, gets in there, starts beating down Brock Lesnar, Brothers of Destruction. It just happened in Mexico. We just saw Undertaker and Kane, so they're teasing it already. So Brock Lesnar's getting beat down by the Brothers of Destruction. Boom, lights go out of nowhere. Sting is in the ring, y'all. Sting is helping Brock Lesnar.
A hologram of Sting is in the ring.
Oh, and then all of a sudden, Undertaker's looking at it, and then through the hologram comes Stingmon. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he just jumps in his face like he's a wild cat.
Yeah.
And he just starts beating down the Brothers of Destruction, Brock Lesnar. So then Kane and Sting brawl to the outside. Undertaker left in the ring with Brock Lesnar. F5, Endo story. Brock Lesnar gets a clean victory. Setting up big things moving forward. Brock Lesnar versus Kane. Sting versus Undertaker. BG.
Big Brock Lesnar versus Kane. Dude.
That's a big
Yo.
fucking Royal Rumble match. It keeps Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble.
Not big for me.
You need to get a grip on your life. BG, what is your conspiracy theory?
I do have a conspiracy theory.
You want
Oh.
music or do you what do you
Nah, fuck the music.
What do you mean fuck the music? The music's gorgeous, dude.
Takes too much. Takes too much effort.
Okay.
I'm sick. The Wyatt family interferes against the Undertaker because Bray Wyatt is still pissed off about WrestleMania.
And how
After-
Undertaker forgot about that match
Right.
already.
He's like, you've been talking about Brock this whole time.
Right.
What about me?
Exactly.
You're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to.
So, because I mean, we're gonna get to this, but I might as well just throw that here. I don't think that Reigns Wyatt is over. I've always said that it's going to Survivor
I'm scared
Series.
it's not over. I'll
Right.
say that.
I've always said it's going to Survivor Series. Now they got 4,
Yeah.
so that's a team. And so Undertaker teams with Reigns and Ambrose.
That's 3.
I know they
And
could put
Kane.
in Orton, but it could also be a handicap.
Demon King.
You could
Brothers
do
of
that.
Destruction
It would be
and
Demon
Shield
Kane.
guys.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it's not fine, but still.
They would be such like a unbalanced like two teams though. Like one is awesome and one is the worst.
No, that's not true.
Anytime
They're
you
very
have
balanced.
someone up against the Wyatt family, though, that's how it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's you're being ignorant.
So that's my conspiracy theory, Donnie.
Oh, I like it. That's a pretty good conspiracy theory. It's missing Sting. That's the only. If you could get Sting in that
I would
conspiracy.
love for Sting to come out and set up Undertaker to Sting, but honestly, I'm scared they're not going to do it. I'm scared they're not going to do Undertaker Sting.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think.
I'm scared of it too. Remember when we said like, yeah, I should have done it right away.
Well,
Well,
if I'm not gonna.
that was right.
If the
And
plan was
the reason I don't see Undertaker and Lesnar having interference is that I think that you're going to get interference in Reigns and Wyatt. And I realize, like, to a point, the Hell in a Cell situation's already been kind of bastardized because people are always getting involved. But it's kind of overkill to have 2 Hell in a Cell matches, both with interference in the same night. So I got to think one of them will be fairly clean. So I would think Taker and Lesnar is going to be the one that's clean, though.
Who do you think interferes in Wyatt Reigns?
All those freaking guys.
Right.
Wyatt.
So they
Ambrose.
have the key, so to speak, to the
Gotcha.
cell, so they could get in there whenever they want.
Well,
So it makes
Strowman's
sense.
going to break the door off, so it's not even going to
So
be a
you just-
door.
So if you could break it earlier, then you could break it later.
at the
They're going to have
swamp.
to tape it back on, and they'll just easily take it off.
At the swamp, we've got a key copying machine. We've all got a key.
They have to have a trade
For what?
to make their money to finance to be wrestlers.
Oh, a trade. I thought you like they're trying to trade someone.
No, they need a
Like
trade.
Pokemon
They-
cards.
Locksmith.
Yeah. Okay.
Locksmithing.
I'm sorry. Oh, you like that here car? Let me help you with that. Follow the buzzards. Okay, Seth Rollins versus Kane. This sure is a match. Who you got and how's it shake out? And is it as obvious as it seems?
Yeah, I've got Seth Rollins winning.
Yeah, hi.
pro-
Seth Rollins, 1,
yeah,
2, 3.
I probably cheating somehow because I wouldn't possibly let Seth Rollins just beat a 45-year-old man cleanly. Can't happen. My one fear is that Kane will like win by DQ, so then Corporate Kane will continue to exist, and then we'll get this match again at Survivor Series, which is somewhat of a real concern because Seth Rollins has proven himself to be like afraid of Kane for whatever reason, even though Kane loses like every match. So that is a concern, but I'm just going to go ahead and hope that they know that this Seth Rollins against Kane feud is not working. It's not becoming of a world title rivalry, and I think they're just going to have Seth Rollins go over him and hopefully move on to face somebody more consequential moving forward.
BG?
Seth Rollins clean, no more Corporate King.
Kane wins via disqualification. Mike Yar, you said it right. I think that you keep Corporate Kane around because they like how this is going. They like the dual personality thing.
Love how it's going. It's so good.
Regardless of whether he's with regardless of whether he's with Seth Rollins moving forward or not, or if they switch programs, I think that this Corporate Kane, Demon Kane thing is around for the long haul.
I mean,
So,
if he wins by DQ, then it's got to still go.
yeah, so I don't think we're going anywhere. So I hope Seth Rollins enjoyed his Ryback win because he's going to lose at the pay-per-view, kind of. So that's why they gave him the win, y'all, because he's going to lose the pay-per-view. That's so sad. I'm so sad about that. But whatever. It is what it is. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. Who you got and how's it shake out? And I got a conspiracy theory here.
Well, like I said, I think that the Wyatt family is going to get involved. I think Dean Ambrose will be in there, and it's going to be a lot of chaos throughout the match. Ultimately, I think Roman Reigns wins the match because, I mean, I assume the whole purpose of this feud was for Roman Reigns to come out on top and conquer his demons, conquer Bray Wyatt, and then move on and hopefully challenge for the world title at some point in the near future, maybe against Seth Rollins. So I thought that's essentially what they were building toward this whole time. The last time these guys faced each other in a one-on-one match on a pay-per-view, Bray Wyatt won. So I got to think, and now it's looking like, oh, they're outnumbered because, the Wyatts added another member. So I think they're trying to make it look like Roman Reigns has to overcome the odds as you would normally do with one of your top baby faces. And I think he will overcome the odds and win the match. But like BG said, even if he does win, which I think he will, I also have concerns that they're going to go forward with the Survivor Series match because you could have 4 Wyatt family members, Reigns and Ambrose, and get whoever else involved, and then we're going to have to go through this again because they said this is the last time it's going to be Reigns against Bray Wyatt for now, but if you make it a freaking 4-on-4 or a 5-on-5 match, then, it's a little bit different, even though it's technically still Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt. So I am concerned about that. Hopeful that this is it. It's over and done with because Roman Reigns needs to move on to something better than this. But regardless, I think he's going to win the match.
BG?
I think the Wyatt family interferes. I agree. Dean Ambrose gets in there. It's just a clusterfuck for the whole 20 minutes. Wyatt wins, and then I see us going to Survivor Series, and I can see it going to hell to fucking TLC after that. It's just never gonna end.
Okay, I do believe it ends. I believe it ends right here. I believe that because they've told me that several freaking times over and over and over and over again. They didn't really drive it home as much this week, which has me a little bit less sure about this. But the way they've told me time and time again that this is the end, this is the end, this is the end, like it's a goddamn Door song. This is the end. So this, I'm going with this is the end. So if this is the end, Roman Reigns does have to win, but you have to give Bray Wyatt something huge. So this is where my conspiracy comes in. Mike Chiari, I think you know where I'm going here.
I don't.
Bray Wyatt takes a huge bump off the Hell in a Cell.
Can you just stop?
I'm telling you right now, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns fighting on top of the cell. Roman Reigns is going to get the win, but you got to give Bray Wyatt something to hang his hat on in this match, and it's going to be a huge bump. It's going to be a huge bump. He's going to fall off the top of the cell through the Spanish announce table is what I'm calling.
Okay, well, nobody's ever going to be falling off the top of the cage ever again.
I mean, we just saw Rollins and Ambrose fall off the side of it, which is pretty
halfway
high
down.
It was pretty high up.
It's high up still, halfway down, sure, but nobody's falling off the top of the Hell in a Cell.
I think that Bray Wyatt does it.
He's not.
Does. Or he goes through the cage and into the ring or something like that. There's a huge spot involving Bray Wyatt.
He's definitely not doing that either.
Bray Wyatt will be involved with an unforgettable spot in this Hell in a Cell match. He's either going through a cage, and he's either getting speared through a cage. Something huge. There's going to be something huge. I'm not sure what it is yet, but...
Maybe you can spear him through the friggin' side of the cage, but he's not going off anything.
It's going to be something huge.
That's for damn sure.
I think he could go off the top of it. There's
no stump bags here. He's it.
Yeah, I think that
They're not going through the side of the cage.
Why?
They'll be the only thing you
the
can
main
even
event.
They zip tie it. They got
some
zip ties.
duct tape on it. Duct tape the door back on. Duct tape the freaking side of the cage.
It's like a TNA fucking cage by the end of the night. So Bray Wyatt takes a bump off the top. Roman Reigns wins. Bray Wyatt takes a huge bump. Okay. I'm sorry. Why do you not enjoy facts? Why can't you just embrace
I don't
facts?
enjoy when you don't have any logic backing up the things that you say. That's what I don't enjoy.
What are you talking?
I just wish you could do that for me, for my sanity.
Okay, ready? With Roman Reigns winning, you need to give Bray Wyatt something huge from this loss. So why not let him be the one who we remember in this huge spot of the match, falling off the top of the cell?
That's not logic because the cage is way higher now, and they're not going to allow somebody to jump off the top of the cage. I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon has even said he would never do something like that again, like when Mick Foley went off the top of Hell in a Cell. It's not going to happen.
Okay, well, you know what? They're going to find a way to make it happen.
Okay.
They're going to bring a truck full of hay out, and he's just going to push him off real slow, and he's going to fall right into it.
Got it.
I can't believe
Didn't he eats his way out.
Did he like bust his spleen or something doing that?
Yeah.
Do you think that ass
That's
would
fucked
cushion the fall? You know? No.
Not enough hay.
Not enough hay. Hey ho. John Cena versus to be announced. Trent. Who you got and how's it shake out, Mike Chiari?
Don't you think we should just start like yelling out names and see talk about how good they are or bad of an idea?
Okay, let me go first.
Just
then.
for fun.
Let me go first then, because I've got
honestly,
two answers.
It could go in any number of directions right now.
Yeah, well, and no, there's. I'm right, obviously. So let's just get that out of the way. So my thought is, and all the rumors this week, and I'm sure you've got them in dirt sheets. Talk about Tyler Breeze possibly coming up, and Tyler Breeze being with the main roster, and it's just a matter of time. Could be weeks, could be days, could be years before he's called up. It could be anything. But I think it's a perfect time to give him a clean victory over John Cena. Send John Cena away. You introduce Tyler Breeze as a top heel. He wins the United States Championship. First day on the job. It will be a great moment for Tyler Breeze. But if it's not Tyler Breeze, Daniel Bryan.
Okay, well, myself and BG have already talked at length about why the Tyler Breeze thing wouldn't work, because John Cena is not going to put over Tyler Breeze cleanly in a match.
Why wouldn't he, though?
Because he's a male model, and John Cena's just not going to go for something like that.
But what better way to validate him as a character than by putting him over?
Agree 100%, but it's not gonna happen.
Right, exactly.
I might quit the show just out of principle if that happened. If you're fucking right about this, that for 3 weeks you've been saying this and that's what happens.
3 weeks? I've been saying it for longer than that, man.
No,
way.
not longer than that.
I wrote the article. Had to be at least 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And
at
I said
least.
3 weeks.
Exactly, 3 weeks. And Daniel Bryan, as amazing as that would be, I don't get any indication that that's going to be the case. I wish that was true. That would be the best option, no doubt. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be something far less interesting than that.
Who you got?
Well, I looked at several different scenarios, and who I ultimately settled on, who I want it to be would be like somebody like Dean Ambrose, but I think because he's going to be involved in the Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt match, he's not going to be in there. And I initially thought before last night that it might be like a triple threat with Dolph Ziggler and Rusev, but I really don't think that they're going to have any of the guys in that six-man pull double duty. So I tried to look at guys who aren't in anything right now, and maybe there was something to Luke Harper not being involved with the Wyatt family last night. Maybe it was a conscious effort on their part to move him away from the Wyatt family. And you got to think of somebody, if John Cena is going to put somebody over, it either has to be somebody who has huge star power already, or who he looks at as a guy who could legitimately beat him straight up in a fight. And I think a guy like Luke Harper would fit that description. I think they've had a lot of great matches before, and John Cena has said, along with Cesaro, that Luke Harper is one of the most underutilized guys on the entire roster. So for John Cena to kind of pat himself on the back, I could see him putting over a guy like Luke Harper and maybe hoping that he gets elevated. So I'm going to go out on a limb, say that Luke Harper is no longer with the Wyatt family, and say that Luke Harper answers the challenge and defeats John Cena for the United States Championship and elevates him to the status that we all believe he could be, which is one of the top heels on the roster.
Can't wait to see him throwing around the title and having him lose every goddamn televised match like he did when he was the IC champion.
I like when he throws around the title.
I do too, but he
Fun.
also lost all the time, which I didn't like.
No, that wasn't no good, but if he beats John Cena, you would hope that wouldn't be the case.
I'd rather have Tyler Breeze beat him than Luke Harper, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't, because it would be a lot more believable if Luke Harper did it.
It'd be pretty believable if Tyler Breeze did it.
I don't think so.
Supermodel kick. Supermodel kick! No? Whatever.
No.
Okay, BG?
Before I give my person, is Hideo Itami healthy?
He was
We know.
another one of my ideas, and I don't know. That's why I didn't say him.
We tossed that around a little bit. The idea was that he was going to be back towards the end of this year is what the original prognosis was.
I saw
Okay.
6 to
'Cause
8
I
months
thought it was supposed
in
to
May.
be around this time.
Yeah.
Because that would be fucking awesome.
Yes, and that's a guy who would believably be able to just kick the shit out of John Cena.
Right,
That's what I'm
this-
talking about.
Yeah. He has
Like Tyler Breeze.
He has the tenacity. He has the kicks, the strikes. Like that would be believable. And John Cena is big
Mm-hmm.
about bringing up the Asian market. I know he wants to get into China more, which I know is different, but that would be.
I'm so glad you know it's different than Japan.
Right. But like,
Almost the same thing, not quite.
no, not.
I know
But,
it's different.
But that would be like something that would be a really cool moment. But I don't know if he's healthy or not. I'm going with Chris Jericho because they're going to be in California still the next day. So Chris Jericho, maybe he puts over Tyler Breeze on Monday.
No. It would have to be John Cena on Sunday.
He would be willing to do it.
John Cena is not losing the U.S. title to Tyler Breeze in his debut match. Vince McMahon he's not going to do that. Even if John Cena wants to do it, Vince McMahon's not going to do that.
No, I disagree.
Tyler Breeze is not going to be booked well on the main roster.
I'm telling you right now, he's not Fandango 2.0.
He very much is going to be. And I hate to say it, Tyler Breeze is one of my favorites, but I don't see Vince giving him any type of credible push.
I'm going on the record. John Cena fights Tyler Breeze at Hell in a Cell, and Tyler Breeze wins the United States Championship.
Well, you already went on the record a long time ago.
And Daniel Bryan, possibly, too.
Vince McMahon is going to look at Tyler Breeze's selfie stick and be like, why the hell is this guy
No, he's
carrying
not.
out
Apparently,
the golf club?
Meltz told me he
sell
looked at his selfie stick and he's like, I want to sell the shit out of that.
He should, yeah. Genius, but...
I think
Another
this is
thing
going to be a sign of the future with Triple H, guys. We're going to see it. You're going to see. You're going to see.
I would love it. We're all huge fans of Tyler Breeze.
You've got so much mucus. You're like, ha ha.
I know.
Ha ha.
Listen, I'm excited.
I know.
Another idea I had that's not going to happen would be fun, and I told Donnie earlier, if you want to reestablish them from nothing to something, how about Damian Sandow, who could get revenge for John Cena ruining his career, essentially by winning Money in the Bank from him a couple years ago. But, again, I don't think they have any interest in doing that.
Damian who now?
Exactly. How about Jack Swagger
No.
back with Zeb Coulter?
No thanks.
Yeah.
How about Mark Henry with Zeb Coulter?
I don't believe that would happen.
I
We
would-
just saw him lose to
I'd
Kevin.
enjoy that way more. No, that last match against Owens. I like when he was fighting Owens and he's just yelling back at Owens.
He was awesome. He was going like trash talk for trash talk with him.
And
too.
he was, man. He's Owens started talking shit to him, and then Henry gets the upper hand. And he's like, I've been talking shit for 20 years or whatever
Yeah,
he
I
said.
know.
I was
It's
like,
so
that's
funny.
awesome. Okay, let's go on. Next one here. The New Day versus the Dudley Boys. Also, did you see the New Day shirt?
Yes, where they're on a unicorn.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
so the unicorn's blind, if you didn't see. He's got
Oh,
like a
it's-
walking stick and he's got the sunglasses on. He's actually blind. He's wearing sneakers. The three of them are on it, and it's on a rainbow. So,
hmm
what's your
Well, a Shikara tag team apparently is accusing them of like stealing their shirt idea.
thing?
Ask Joe about it.
The Ophidian portal? Does that sound right?
Devastation Corporation.
Oh, okay, I don't know. That probably sounds real though. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
Because everybody's stealing from Chikara. I can't even say that with a straight face. The New Day versus the Dudley Boys. Who got and how's it shake out, Mike Chiari?
Well, I think that obviously they've been having New Day take shortcuts this entire time to keep the titles. They did it at the last pay-per-view. They did it at the MSG special. They've been having New Day beat the Dudley Boys in these six-man matches. So I think essentially everything is pointing toward the Dudley Boys winning the tag team titles. And when they do, which I think they will at this pay-per-view, you can still continue the feud with the New Day for at least another pay-per-view. So it will have been like a 3 pay-per-view feud, which this feud is more than deserving of having that. And then maybe once you get past that, maybe you put the Dudleys against a team like the Wyatt family or something like that. So I think you have a lot of possibilities if you put the titles on the Dudley Boys. They have a lot of teams that they can go up against. At the same time, New Day doesn't necessarily need the titles to be an important part of WWE programming, to be an interesting feud. So I think that the right move at this point is put the titles on the Dudley Boys. I think they will.
PG?
I still see New Day keeping it somehow. I don't know how they do it, but I still see the Dudley Boys against New Day in a tables match at Survivor Series, and that's where they win it.
No, I think New Day win. I think Dudley Boys win it here. I think it's been long enough. We can get now New Day chasing after Dudley Boys for a little bit before we split them back apart. And like you said, the New Day doesn't need the tag team titles. As a matter of fact, I would like the Dudley Boys with the tag team titles. The idea of it going against 2 members of the Wyatt family is very intriguing. I would definitely like that. And the idea of having the New Day against Enzo and Cass without the titles around is like maybe the first few of those two teams. So you got it, and that adds depth to the division. It adds storylines. It's interesting. I would love that. So if you give the Dudley Boys the titles here, you let them fight again. What's next? Survivor Series. You let them fight again in Survivor Series, and then you just move them apart from each other. It's been great while it's lasted, but I also don't want it to go too long and we start to not like it. So I
You're
think
right. They have to have a rematch clause, right? So
Yeah.
okay.
They would for
I
sure
buy
have
that.
one more.
They win it here and then the rematch at Survivor Series. I can buy that.
And then it's over. Then it's done because then we can move on from it, and then we were not tired of it. That way, if we move on from it after Survivor Series, we still like it enough to where if it goes away for a while and then comes back in a few months, we won't hate it then. It's not Sheamus Orton to us.
Yeah, I forgot about the rematch clause. So that's why, because I just think that no matter what, it's a tables match at Survivor Series, and Dudley's win.
Yeah, and that's fine. If that's what they're building up to as the culmination of this feud, that's fine. That's fine. That's perfect. Any other comments about that? No. Kevin Owens versus Riot. What? Did you actually have something?
Me?
Yeah, someone said something.
No.
Okay.
I said no.
About the Miz for the U.S. Title Open.
I thought about him,
Oh
but
my
then
God.
But then my thought was, if he's not going to put Tyler Breeze over, he's probably not going to put The Miz over.
Maybe The Rock comes out.
Unless The Rock, exactly. Unless The Rock showed up and just kicked
The Rock,
his ass.
sir. It's AJ Styles, y'all. He signed a 4-year contract worth millions of dollars. So.
Rousey does it because it's in the fucking Mecca.
I'd for
Oh,
sure pop
Ronda
for The
Rousey
Miz.
just beats him down for the U.S. title?
Where are all no? She helps the Miz.
Oh.
Where are all those rumors right now? Actually, Melts. He said that was a lock.
We call him up. It's like, hello? Melts, what happened at Hell in a Cell? Ronda Rousey lies. Beep. You've reached the House of the Melts. It's like, hey, I know
House
it's
of
you, you
Melts.
motherfucker. You hang up on me. Kevin Owens, I have these elaborate stories that go in my head and only I can see. Kevin Owens versus Ryback. Sure is a match. Ryback lost clean. Kevin Owens got beat down by Ryback, though, so I guess that means Ryback's definitely losing. I think we're all going to agree that Ryback loses this match. So let's just say, how long does it last? Mike Chiari, how long do you think it lasts? And then who wins if you want?
Kevin Owens wins in 8 minutes.
G?
Question: isn't this the third time that they've wrestled? And then
Technically,
Owens
because
has
there was
won-
a DQ finish on SmackDown or something.
Right. Oh, I thought Owens won both. Because Cole was like, could you imagine if Kevin Owens able to do the pile of Parabon on Ryback? It's like he's already fucking beat him.
Yeah, he beat him, but Ryback got a
Breaking
win
his eyes.
like a stupid
Rolling
idiot.
him up.
Yes.
It's just, I hate Cole so much. I got the.
That's
the
a whole
under.
different fucking can of worms that I'm going to open right now.
I got the under.
We don't have enough time.
You say you got the Undertaker?
No, the under of Chiari's 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got I'm going to say 6 minutes.
All right, so you got $1.
That's also one.
So Kevin Owens goes 6 minutes on a pay-per-view.
There's a 0% chance that Ryback is going to win. So
Fuck this feud. Who does Kevin Owens go to next?
You guys kept saying Neville, but I think he's too busy trudging through shit right now.
yeah, I wanted it to be Neville.
So I'm going to
but-
say Ambrose, because I think the whole Wyatt family thing's going to be over, so I think you get Ambrose Owens.
Mm-mm. It's not gonna be over.
If Wyatt family's over, like I pray it is, I could see Ambrose.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Remember when they looked at each other at the time?
Remember when they were on that table for 3 thing and they winked at each other and he's like, you eat like a slob, and he's like, I'm going to feud you over that.
Remember Ambrose wanted to be on the wall?
Yeah, it's true. Remember my idea of him holding the frame over his head like it's Looney Tunes? Like
Yeah.
it's goddamn Young Frankenstein. It says like 6 months dead, 3 months dead, fresh dead. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby.
I got Ziggler.
For what? The Cena thing?
No, the next feud.
Oh,
For
we're
Kevin
not
Owens.
there.
I was thinking him, but
Oh.
K already kicked his ass kind of before.
Did he?
Yeah, he did when he did the NXT title open challenge.
Mm,
Beat him.
if I don't remember it, WWE doesn't remember it.
Yeah. And you know what? Owens beat down Machine Gun Kelly, and he's fine. So that doesn't matter.
Maybe that's
Is he?
the next feud.
Was he ever
I
fine?
don't freaking know. I just said that because he just beat the shit out of him, and I just
Remember
remembered
how
that in
over
my-
Kevin Owens was at that point in time?
Yep. Remember how WWE just like does everything in their power to kill momentum at any cost? I don't understand why
Yeah.
they would do that.
Got to eat off
Yeah.
John Cena.
By only because they won't push anybody else to be eaten off of.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. I don't care about this at all now. They've taken away all. I wasn't going to care about it much, but you could have done much better. What they've done is really awful. Charlotte has lost to Brie. Nikki has lost clean to Sasha and others. And I don't care about this at all. And I will. And we talked about how it's bathroom break material. Used to be the Divas division, and we laughed and said, "Oh, that's not what it is anymore." Well, you know what? It kind of feels like we're getting back to that because I'm not looking forward to this at all. And I love Charlotte. She's great at what she does. And I love what a lot of the other divas are doing, but I don't care about this at all. Mike Chiari?
Pretty recently I was just thinking, like, there's no possible way they put the title back on Nikki Bella. But based on the way everything's going right now, I definitely could see them putting the title back on Nikki Bella. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that Paige is going to get involved in this match. I can't really predict anything they're doing with Paige right now because nothing they do makes sense. But if they feel like maybe they want to make sense for once, Paige gets involved in this match, costs Charlotte the match. Then you can have a side feud with Paige and Charlotte and maybe Becky involved. A Team PCB explodes side feud that doesn't involve the title. And then Nikki Bella, you look at, and BG mentioned it before, Sasha Banks is coming off like a face. Not necessarily because WWE is doing anything to make her be a face, but just because the fans love her, and the fans are going to continue to cheer her, and there's nothing she could do to make them boo her at this point. So they're going to support her as a face. If she's going to be a face, then I think the best thing would be for her to go up against a clear heel, and there's no doubt that Nikki Bella is just that. So I think they have Charlotte go off and feud with Paige. Nikki Bella wins the title back at Hell in a Cell, and that's where you get Sasha Banks to come in and take the title away from Nikki Bella, which, in my opinion, should have been the move they made in the first place rather than Charlotte ever winning it.
Well, I disagree with that. I think you could have just made this Charlotte thing work with some proper booking, and then you could have built a Charlotte versus Sasha Banks.
That's too difficult. No, that's too much.
Okay. Well,
proper booking, huh? What's that?
They don't know. So what? You know what I mean? They're like, who? They're actually writing down everything you said, but it goes so fast they don't have rewind on their phones. They're like, fuck, I missed it again.
So they miss a big portion of what they were supposed to do.
Remember when you mentioned something about Paige beating up Maddie in the back?
And they did it.
Yeah, they did it, but they did it awfully.
Totally not how I want them to do it.
That's all they got from that segment. They're like, I heard him say Paige beats up Maddie in the back. I didn't get anything else, so we'll just fill in the blanks later.
No, it's no, you were supposed to have a mystery where Paige is still facing part of PCB and beat up Charlotte in the back, and then it eventually outs her as being the heel, but they couldn't do all that.
No, that seems way complicated. I'm not into that. Yucky storyline, yucky. Speaking of yucky,
Hi.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Speaking of yucky, BG.
Speaking of yucky's feelings, go ahead.
Okay. Hear what you guys are saying? Becky turns heel on Charlotte.
Of course, because I was literally in my head like, what's the one thing
you guys
that
didn't
would
say?
that would not make any sense in this whole fucking thing? Because
it would
that's
kind
what
of
they're
make
gonna
sense
do.
because she's nothing right now, and she's
just
hey,
a
now I'll
lackey.
be something.
All she is a cheerleader for Charlotte. It makes no sense. Turn her heel, so she's kind of by herself. Maybe you get Paige trying to buddy up with her, but Becky's she's a lone wolf. This last kicker.
That's funny. Booker T.
Last kisser.
Last kisser.
That's a good gimmick. Let's go with that.
It's a Mrs.
So
gimmick.
she turns heel. Charlotte still retains the championship, though. This could be a non-finish, or she could do it after the match. Leading up to Survivor Series, though, Sasha does get involved, and this becomes a fatal four-way elimination match at Survivor Series with Nikki Bella in there.
With arms locked.
No arms locked.
Oh.
I think arms have to be locked.
Unless they're all doing a submission move or some shit.
No. Yeah, a chain of them. 8 of them doing it to each other.
Figure eights.
So this is awful. Charlotte retains, and hopefully this is over and we all just move on to something totally different.
Nikki's good.
Okay, fine. Then have her be a top heel in the division.
With Sasha Banks over the Divas title.
Or have Nikki just feud Sasha Banks first, and that's a good way to get Sasha Banks over as a face, and then she beats the shit out of Nikki Bella, then goes on to the championship. Well, you can do that. You can slow build someone like Sasha Banks. You're going to build her like a face. But like Daniel Bryan, take time. Give it time until she finally gets that chance. It culminates in a title match, and it's huge, like Bayley. But whatever.
All you have to do to make this...
Go ahead.
All you have to do to make this Diva situation like make sense is just to like break it down into like a couple separate feuds instead of having like all these teams going against each other all the time. And like the thing that I said, have PCB feud with each other, have Sasha versus Team Bella, and then you're fine. You don't have to have like constant 6-person matches and everybody's feuding with everybody. That just doesn't work.
Booker T explained this. All women hate each other. They yell at each other all the time. They don't trust each other. The women hate each other.
He's very matter of fact about it. He is.
Yeah, it's just what he said. And it's like, I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure my wife likes people. So first-hand experience is nah. Whatever.
Do you guys feel that the WWE is trying to turn Sasha face?
I think that.
Or is that just me?
I think that the face turn's organic, and I think they're going to.
I don't think it's anything they're doing because they're not doing anything.
Yeah. So I think are they going to embrace the face turn? Probably, because they should.
I disagree.
I mean, wait, hold on a minute. Last week, they basically like encouraged that chant. They addressed it. They had
So how are you saying it's organic? They're pointing it like they're trying
because
to do
those
it.
chants were starting anyway, so they're harnessing the organic nature of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just
like
don't
the Daniel
feel
Bryan yes chant. At first, it was just it's organic. Then WWE's like, okay, we're gonna market this.
I just don't feel like they're gonna let her be the Sasha Banks that we enjoy.
Well, because
I think she's obviously at her best as a heel, but the momentum from the fans loving her is so strong that there's just nothing you could do. She could beat the hell out of Charlotte. She could beat the hell out of Becky Lynch.
I disagree.
She could be the one that took out Natalya backstage, and I think people would still cheer her.
All she has to
I'd
do
be
one
okay
time
with that because that's a heel thing, though.
Right, but I think that people wouldn't treat her as a heel.
I think if Sasha Banks stole some kid's hairpiece or like.
And people were like, "Yeah, this is great," because that's what happened.
Oh no, because like a really good crowd is gonna boo that, as they should. You know what I mean? Just like the full, you can't help but boo that. That's good heel stuff.
People loved it though.
At Full Sail, people went crazy.
She's just so good that no matter what she does, people cheer.
I think you're valuing the NXT crowd a little bit much because I think that a lot of people don't know enough about Sasha Banks.
Regular fans do.
Yeah, they like this lady, but they certainly don't. I don't think they like her as nearly as much as you think they like her.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
In freaking like world title scenarios, they're chanting for Sasha Banks. So yeah, they kind of like her.
Yeah, they do kind of like her, but like I said, she could easily be heel with the heel tactics and booked properly.
I don't think anybody has any interest in hating Sasha Banks right now. I think that they all want to cheer her, and I think that WWE has to really embrace that at this point. And eventually, maybe you can do things to push her back in the heel direction. But for now, I think you got to kind of take advantage of that momentum.
Well, WWE can absolutely do something to kill her momentum. That's kind of their deal. That's kind of what they do. So that's a thing. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, BG, any comments?
No.
Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Neville versus Rusev, Sheamus, and King Barrett. So nice. We're going to see it twice. It's on the pre-show.
Such a waste of these guys.
It's going to be a good match. And BG, every time you see Sheamus and King Barrett like doing a tag team move,
I'm so happy.
or like you see them like having fun together, like smile. Do you like get off a little?
How about Rusev helping
the funny
Barrett
thing
put
is
his
that
crown
I've
on?
once said that
Ruru.
once Sheamus and King Barrett are together, the Authority should recruit Ruru. And this should be like this international stable. Be great. You could also turn fucking Cesaro and Neville heel. Put them all in there. Let's do it.
Dolph Ziggler could just become like freaking.
No,
He'd have to be French. He'd have to dress French with like the little hat and shit, like a little tiny mustache and the like black and white shirt. You know what I'm talking about? The French hat. You know, you got the visual.
Beret, maybe.
A beret. And he looks like he's gonna look like a mime. Yes. But he'll have a mustache.
Fantasio.
Yeah.
To help his comic career.
Yeah. This is not good. So who wins, Mike Curie? Faces
well,
or heels?
Yeah, the heels won the last match, and this is the kickoff. So I would think they're gonna want to, get the fans all pumped for the pay-per-view. So
get them
Dolph,
juiced.
Cesaro, and Neville.
Gonna face them up. BG. BG.
Chair them up, face them up.
I yearn for the days of WLC, but yes. They need to pump up the crowd in LA, and Ziggler will get the pinfall here.
VLC was amazing.
VLC
let's not even kid ourselves.
Was just one of the most incredible pre-shows ever. I think it goes like Santino, Cesaro for the United States Championship.
I don't think
number one.
I don't think that's up there at all.
What?
Like legitimately, WLC is up there though. It goes Shield against the Usos, WLC.
I was
Nothing
there for
else
that.
matters.
I was there.
Nothing
for that.
else matters.
That was the pre-show.
That was the Money in
opener.
the Bank pre-show.
Remember that?
I thought that was
Every
the
year.
opener.
No.
Nope.
pre-show.
Should have been.
Yeah, Google. I hear you.
Believe
fucking
it,
Wiki.
BG.
I'm
it
fucking
has
looking
to.
this
You're
up.
like, Wiki! Wiki! And we're out of here! Guys, I am your host with the most, Donald Wood. Find me on Twitter at Donald_Wood. Mike Chiari?
At Mike Chiari, Chiari.
That's not how you spell Chikari. Brandon Galvin?
BGNY3.
Oh,
You want to order and confuse yourself.
No, because I'm going to thank BG here. Kudos to BG for trudging through this sick. That's nice of you. You're always sick. It's really weird.
Shut up.
Shut up. You drink some orange juice and spit it up.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So find us, guys. RingRustRadio.com. That is a website. Ring Rust Radio on YouTube. Mike Chiari, what interview should they go listen to?
Go listen to.
Stone Cold.
N-
Stone
okay.
Cold. Stone Cold.
I wasn't stay Stone Cold, but okay. Stone
Yeah,
Cold.
say Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Okay, Stone Cold. Facebook us, guys. We need friends. You need friends. End of story. iTunes, Stitcher. You've got smartphones? Of course you do. It's 2015. Get on there. Get iTunes. Get Stitcher. Get Ring Rust Radio. Interact with us at Ring Rust Radio on Twitter. We love our fans and want to talk to you, so just deal with it. Email us, ringrustradio@yahoo.com. Mikey, you already talk about patreon.com.
Guys, you support us every week by listening to the show. If you want to support us a little bit more, head over to patreon.com/ringrustradio. You can donate to the Triple R cause, get all kinds of great stuff in return, possible special shows of Ring Rust Radio, being in our fantasy league, all kinds of different stuff. Just go to patreon.com/ringrustradio. You can check it all out right over there.
BG, prowrestlingtees.com/ringrustradio. That's where you would buy shirts. Have you used your shirts being sick at all?
Yeah, it makes me feel better. It's very soft.
The hanky.
It's a hanky?
It's not a hanky. It's more like a comforter.
Oh, a security blanket, maybe?
Yes.
Like, what's the Charlie Brown kid?
It's like Linus.
Linus, thank you.
What's the Charlie Brown kid? Just don't even talk to me ever again.
Did you see a preview of that movie? The Peanuts movie?
Looks great.
Yeah, we already talked about this, and I said I'm very hesitant because I like the old school animation. I don't like new voices. I don't even sound like the right people.
I don't mind
You know?
it. I don't mind
We'll
it.
see.
I
We'll see.
I think it could be
It
cool.
could be good, but I'm not optimistic.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. So, guys, that's it. We're out of here. But we want to thank you guys for coming. We appreciate your time. But